Hello my beautiful wine lovers and welcome to my channel. My name is Angie and I'm learning to be a sommelier, and today we have 6 different styles of Chenin Blanc. Tomorrow we're gonna have my first wine tasting and pairing event, and I'm really nervous. That's why today I'm preparing myself. I'm doing a test. So I bought a lot of new plates and glasses. There will be some snacks here. I decided to do good matches and bad matches for the wine. I'm planning to host wine tastings in Berlin once every 3 months. There is usually enough wine only for 8 persons. So if you wanna join in, then follow my group Conscious Wine Tasting in Berlin in Meetup, or follow the announcements in our Instagram profile h.energy. Chenin Blanc is one of the most versatile grapes. That's why it's perfect for my first wine tasting event. As you notice, it wasn't a lot snacks on the plate. Usually in Michelin restaurants there are also not that much food, but you're not gonna eat yourself full. It's not the purpose of tasting or Michelin restaurant. The purpose is to experiment with the taste and flavors and combinations of food and drink. You just have to concentrate all your feelings on your palate and think about it. What exactly do you feel? What exactly happened? Discover yourself actually what you like and what you don't like. Welcome to our working space for today. Right now, I take my time to try the wines, to write my notes, and to let wine introduce itself to me properly. Tomorrow, I can concentrate myself on the presentation and on communication with the guests. So, Chenin Blanc, it's a grape variety from Loire, a wine region in France, and it's known since 9th century. In 16th century, it got name from the Mont Chenin monastery. In 20th century, it was brought by Dutch to South Africa, for example, to Stellenbosch. It's also a wine region there, and there it got his name Steen. And it's also sustainable for botrytis. We already know from our Riesling video what is botrytis. It can be grown in cool, moderate and warm climate. It's really special by Chenin Blanc. There are many harvest options, for example, just ripe or extra ripe, and it can be oaked and unoaked. All of them we have today here and we can try. We expect all the different kind of aromas, from green apple to tropical fruits. The acidity is really high by all the styles, and sweetness could be bone dry or it can be extra sweet. Our standing samples can be aged in bottle. We also have one today, aged one. It's like 32 years old, and it's the star of today's tasting. I'm really nervous about it because it's older as I am. Yes, but it will be the last one. And by aging it gets tertiary aromas of dry fruits and honey. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about pairing principles. Wine always has to be sweeter than food. Fats need acids. What grows together goes together. Complex with complex, simple with simple. Acid loves acid. That's like the most popular pairing rules, and you don't need to know all of them, but if you will remember only one of them by choosing your bottle for the evening, it will be more than enough. Let's go to our first sample. The first sample is from Vouvray. It's an appellation in Touraine, AOC. It's the main appellation in the whole world for Chenin Blanc. Literally all the possible styles are grown there, from really dry to really sweet. It can be aged, it can be fresh, it can be also sparkling. Exactly, that's our first sample today. What we can read on the label, the first side, it's only the owner name, Domaine Huet. It's like estate of family Huet. At the sweetness level, it's Brut. In French sweetness scale for sparklings, Brut means dry, and it contains from 0 to 12 grams of sugar for a liter of wine. Pétillant, what is it? It's a French term for carbonation level and it means lightly sparkling. The pressure in the bottle is approximately 2 bar. To compare, champagne is fully sparkling and it has more than 5 bar. Appellation Vouvray contrôlée, % of alcohol for a volume 13. I will not taste this sparkling today because I have my event tomorrow and I don't want to bring to event the sparkling wine opened from yesterday because it doesn't make any sense for the customers. I've cutted this video to match my assumptions to reality. Where I made the mistakes, I corrected them with red fonts. Look. We can just try to imagine. I will try to find time to film it tomorrow, how it looks like. Or maybe Benji can help me.
Of course.
I think it will be, of course, clear and intensity will be pale. I guess it will be lemon. What about nose? I expect it to be clean. Actually, I expect medium intensity. So let's talk about aromas, what we expect from the grape itself. Green fruits like green apple, lot of flowers, and lemon. Secondary aromas from malolactic conversion biscuits, because it was made with the classical method and a stain on yeast and lees for some time. From yeast and lees it comes the bready aromas and flavors. The sweetness, dry wine. The acidity will be high. Alcohol, medium to low. Let's see. Body gonna be light. Flavor intensity. I hope it will be pronounced, but let's see. Flavor characteristic. Let's ask ChatGPT. On the palate, we're gonna expect more minerals, a little bit saltiness, and aftertaste, a little bit citrus. Of course, we expect long finish because price is pretty high, €33. Conclusion we will make later. Good, very good, or outstanding. Let's see.
Yeah. I'm very into sparkling and the old wine is my favorite.
Yeah.
So my least favorites were the sparkling and the dry, which is normally what I would go for actually.
Yeah.
But I thought the sparkling was coming on too strong. I don't know why. Because I like about the sparkling that it is light, but this one was not.
The pairing principles, we have to decide which qualities of this wine we're gonna pair. First of all, I would think about this acidity and sweetness level, like it's dry wine, about these bubbles and crispiness, about its delicate tastes and breadiness in flavor. Salty food is always a good idea with acidic dry wines because salt makes this contrast. The wine will seem less acidic, less dry, more fruity. That's why we have today pastry as a pair. I have just a little piece and also fat in pastry. Or good is the acidic wine, so the acid will cut through the fat, and fat needs the dry wine. So if you have some fat snack on your table, wine is better to be acidic. And crispy, that have to work good, it's like a complementing pair. Wine is crispy, like bubbles and so on. Bread is also crispy. Because of yeast and lees, there are bready, pastry, biscuit aromas and flavors in the wine. That's why it will match good with the puff pastry as well. It has to be a good pairing. Another good idea would be to use a little bit of goat cheese on the pastry. It will be a little bit more complex and add a little bit more acidity and flavor. So altogether it have to work really nice and lovely, and I already like it. What other pairings could work good here? It have to be something salty and soft. It can be Ostern, olives. Service temperature is 6 to 8 degrees Celsius. So please put it in the fridge or into the bucket before serving it. An anti-pairing here could be our apple jam, because one of the main rules, wine have to be sweeter as food, and it's very sweet. Actually, it's not too sweet, fuck. Sweet food will make wine seem less sweet and more acidic, even more dry. It's already brut and acidic, so it will be too much with sweet jam, and it's also thick. And our wine is light-bodied. Like it could be conflict of consistencies, and it will strangle the delicate wine with a simple, straight taste. Unfortunately, I haven't found like simple apple jam. It's like already with a little bit spiciness there, so it's not simple at all. And it's pretty delicate, to be honest. But let's see how it will work in the reality.
Hello!
Hi,
What is your name?
I'm Danielle.
You're here at Angie's event, wine tasting event. What did you like the most about it?
Yeah, it was a great event. We walked through a bunch of different tasting pairings and thinking about how wine really works with different food options and the things to consider when you're making those types of pairings. I loved the sweet wine in particular, but it was also great to be able to taste things like the goat cheese with really a puff pastry and pairing that with some of the wine as well. So it was a great experience.
Thank you very much. And if you think about the evening, do you see some room for improvement?
No, not really. I mean, I think definitely trying different types of wines and like continuing to try new pairings will continue to be a fun part of the wine tasting process, but it was a great experience.
Would you recommend this event to another person?
Definitely, yeah. I think it's great for people that are learning about wine tasting and kind of how to make these pairings, just as like an educational event, but also to try different wines.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Hi Benjamin, schön, dass
Hallo.
du heute hier bist bei dem Weinevent von Angelina. Wie ist denn dein Eindruck? Was lief super?
Alles. Also positiv überrascht, muss ich sagen. Das ist mein erstes Weintasting und ich hatte es eher so im Kopf, die Sache so, da Wein schenken, alle sind irgendwann betrunken, aber ich muss sagen, dass Angelina das sehr professionell aufgezogen hat. Also auch mit der Präsentation, mit ihrer Vorstellung. Und ja, ich wünsche ihr viel Glück auf ihrem Weg. Und ja, also ich fand es wirklich sehr positiv.
Sehr schön.
Sehr professionell, muss ich
Ja,
sagen.
vielen Dank. Wenn jetzt den Abend noch so ein bisschen eine Revue passieren lässt, da gibt es auch Dinge, die sie beim nächsten Mal, wo sie einen Fokus mehr drauf legen sollte, damit es noch besser wird.
Also musste ich jetzt überlegen. Also ich habe so vom ersten Eindruck fand ich es wirklich sehr professionell.
Super. Was war denn dein Lieblingswein?
Der hier.
Was ist das für einer?
Der alte Wein, der gealterte.
Der alte, der 33 Jahre alte Wein.
Genau, der 33 Jahre alte Wein. Der ist sehr lecker. Also der ist, also ich kann gar nicht genug davon bekommen.
Sehr
Was
schön.
Angelina wahrscheinlich überraschen wird.
Würdest du nochmal zu einem Weintasting-Event kommen, especially bei Angelina?
Selbstverständlich würde ich das tun.
Sehr schön, wunderbar. Wir freuen uns auf dich. Dankeschön,
Ich mich
Benjamin.
auch. Danke.